let's go to someone who we won't see anymore now with the Brazilian national team. Speaking of legends, when it comes to Marcelo, he is officially retired. The former Real Madrid star officially announced it. His retirement from the beautiful game at the age of 36. It's no doubt he left a mark, both club and country, having won a total of 31 trophies. When we talk about such an impressive resume, such an impressive player like Marcelo was in the peak of his time, especially wearing that jersey on that team with Real Madrid, I mean, it's a list that's just crazy when we even look at it, Mao. But to you, who is the best Brazilian fullback when we see these four talented
Come on,
men?
why me first? All right. Okay, that's an all-time list.
It's a loaded question.
That's a Mount Rushmore right there of fullbacks. Not only in Brazil, maybe around the world.
You had Maldini.
Paulo Maldini's there, and Andreas Brehme for Germany, but not many more. Not many more.
I'm trying to think.
But it's not a hard answer. It's not a hard question. I think it's an easy answer.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's Cafu. I think Cafu is the greatest fullback in sports history.
In soccer history.
Yeah, this sport history.
Well, at least in sports history, there's a American football fullback.
You're right. In soccer's history. I think when we think about Cafu, the things that Roberto Carlos did well, the things that Marcelo did well, the things that Dani Alves did well, Cafu did all of those things at the highest of levels. And yes, when we talk about leaders in the Brazilian national team, there have been no many leaders with the quality and the impact of Cafu. 5 international titles. He lived the World Cup in 2002. And I just cannot get that picture off of my head.
Right.
That a right back with his qualities had that leadership, but also the impact on the game like Cafu did. I think the rest are just a combination of all the fantastic things that Cafu displayed on the field day in and day out.
Let me just say really quickly for Marcelo, I've never seen a playmaker at that position like I have Marcelo, and one so successful at the club level. He was instrumental in the 5 Champions League that Real Madrid won, and happy retirement to him. He's a hell of a player. We're splitting hairs when we talk about these defenders, when we talk about these fullbacks. We really are. Dani Alves is, up until Messi last year, was the winningest player in world footballing history. Cafu is an amazing leader, amazing player, but I have never in my life seen, read, video, or in person anything like Roberto Carlos. Roberto Carlos, when you think about him, if you know who Roberto Carlos is, you think about the way he strikes the ball. And yes, a hell of a strike. Immediately you think about that legendary strike, the technique, the force, the precision. But he was so much more than that. So clever. 100 goals, okay? 100 goals for a fullback. About 150 assists, okay? Almost 800 club games. Also lifted a World Cup title. And out of all these, and defenders out there, the only fullback to come close to winning a Ballon d'Or, it wasn't Cafu who was there. Runner-up in the 2002 Ballon d'Or happened to be Roberto Carlos. I have yet to see somebody like him today, even today. You say Roberto Carlos, they know, they understand, they'll identify. I remember back in 2005 playing with the LA Galaxy, back in the old Home Depot Center, now Dignity Health Sports Park, when these summer games happen with these Galacticos and the Chelseas of the world and Barcelonas of the world. Back then it was the first. And I recall a free kick in 2005 before the smartphone, and people broke out the digital cameras. And during Roberto Carlos' free kick, which I'm in the wall for, I look up and I just see flashes, pap, 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 all over the stadium. Only Roberto Carlos and a team of Galacticos could garner that. Roberto Carlos free kick. I've never seen a player like him. We probably will never see another player like him. I have to say it's Roberto Carlos.
You good?
Are you going to give an answer?
Hydrated?
Yes. It was.
You've got some
What
issues.
you heard is this plastic bottle of water.
My water
and
bottle.
nothing
Not
else.
Wanted to
Nothing
say
else.
Too. That's we're struggling.
I was ready just to rank them, if I may.
Go ahead.
We disagree on the number one. I'll go
Quickly.
Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Dani Alves, Marcelo, in that order.
Ooh, you got 5 Champions League in last place.
Oh yeah.
Oh, last place. That's interesting.
5 Champions League.
It's not about. It's that. I mean, our only metric is not titles. It's a big one. It's important,
true.
but it's not the only one.
I don't know. Marcelo was just so incredibly talented. It's tough for me to kind of wrap my head around putting him there at number 5. But then again, the list is really stacked when it comes to, historically speaking, what Marcelo has also been able to leave his mark, undoubtedly so. Roberto Carlos just always stands up. But I think it's also who we were able to really watch and appreciate at the end of the day. And Roberto Carlos is just one that immediately, and I think of a strike.
Are you calling us old because we did see Cafu
full
bloom?
No.
I'll
Legend.
I
a legend
took it like
still.
that. I
A
took
legend
it like
still.
that. I was offended. Anyways.
Well, all right. Here's something that maybe won't offend you. You can watch La Liga coming up this weekend. Sevilla against Football Club Barcelona, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Coverage begins at 2:30. You can watch that over on